Another day, another low-grade fever. The world of having endometriosis is incredibly hard. I try to exercise, and I was doing it, to get into shape and to lose weight, but they also say it's good for you because it helps it encourages the anti-inflammatory parts of your body to flourish. Of course, eating sugar apparently does the opposite. Like, I'm not trying to get off on a tangent about autoimmune diets. I'm just trying to be super real with you guys. They tell you when you're going in to talk to your doctor or specialist about endometriosis that you need to prepare yourself to be your own advocate, because even though they have known about this disease for over 30 years, hardly any money goes to it or to research, treatment, anything like that. And you end up with a lot of doctors that just dismiss it. And I'm going to tell you something that still really upsets me, that I know a lot of women go through. So my OBGYN told me about 7 years ago that all the pain and nausea and bloating and everything that I had been experiencing for basically like my whole life, mine actually had a name. It was called endometriosis. And I just felt so relieved to know that I wasn't crazy, or I wasn't just weak, because I'd fall down the stairs in pain. The pain was so bad. I could feel it shooting down my legs. When you have to go to the emergency room because the pain is so bad and there's nothing that they can do. There's nothing they offer besides a surprise pelvic exam with whoever the doctor is that treats you. In my case, it was a man. It still bothers me many years later. But I didn't know what was wrong with me then. I thought I knew what was wrong with me now. I got a referral to see a specialist at the UVM Medical Center from my OBGYN of 7 years, who's the one that diagnosed me with endometriosis. So I go to the women's health department to see a specialist. They give me an ultrasound, which I've already had so many ultrasounds for fibroids and cysts. They gave me an ultrasound and it was 40 minutes long. Imagine what that's like, to have wound up inside you for 40 minutes when you are so bloated and in so much pain and nausea. And you just want it to stop. So no matter how much pain it is to stick that up inside you for so long, it doesn't matter, because you're in so much pain all the time. You're desperate. So I had the ultrasound, and I had an appointment with the doctor the very next day. The first thing the doctor says to me, and I knew I had to be my own advocate, right? I've done my own research. I'm thinking, I have a woman doctor. I have a woman OBGYN, and she's great. So here's a woman doctor. Maybe she'll understand. Maybe she will offer me the laparoscopic exploratory surgery that my OBGYN said that I need to officially diagnose my endometriosis. Because they won't officially medically diagnose you with it unless they have a sample of it to prove it, which means they have to go inside of you. They have to cut you open to take a piece out. And I knew this, and this is why I went to the women's department and to have that done. I brought my boyfriend with me for support. And the woman, she's got my ultrasound up on like the side of the wall, right? The first thing she says to me is, endometriosis can't kill you. When I know that my mother in 1994 almost died from a burst cyst that they couldn't find because it was buried in endometriosis. My mom's story isn't the only one. And many other women had much worse tales that led to death because the doctors either dismissed them, misdiagnosed them, or flat out ignored them. And I'm talking about years ago. My mom had biopsies, she had ultrasounds, rocket aspirations, all of those things. And they couldn't find a cyst the size of a 6-month-old fetus because of all of the endometriosis tissue. So I know this, and I'm talking to the doctor who opens up with saying endometriosis can't kill you when it almost killed my mom. So technically you have complications caused by endometriosis that certainly can kill you. And if it doesn't kill you, it can make your life miserable. They say it gets worse as you get older. Until maybe when you go through menopause, it might go away. It might. So the doctor, she's got the ultrasound up on the wall. My boyfriend is sitting right next to me. And she's pointing at it. She's like, there's a fibroid here, a little something here. And she's minimizing them too. A little fibroid here, a little string here. That means... I don't think that the size of the fibroid determines the amount of pain that it gives you and discomfort. But I guess in this expert's case, it did. Because I'm literally reliving what happened to me. And then she tells me that she's sure that I don't have endometriosis. And she is basing this on the ultrasound. And it is a damn good thing that I did my own homework. Because I said to her, I said, how can you diagnose me as negative, not having endometriosis, when endometriosis tissue is microscopic and will not show up on an ultrasound? I think she realized then she was dealing with somebody that wasn't just gonna take a prescription for birth control pills and walk away thinking that's gonna solve everything. So I said that, and she said, and she did exactly this. She takes a big breath in. That is true, but these things tend to not be, she was basically saying that endometriosis is rare and it's treatable with birth control pills. Oh, and she also suggested that the pain that I'm feeling when I don't have my time of the month, that I still have endometriosis pain. She was trying to suggest that that was all in my head. And she mentioned some pills that she could prescribe to me that are for people that they're in pain so much that they're in pain so much that their brain just constantly thinks that they're in pain. I don't think I'm in pain. I know I'm in pain. And I think I'm in so much pain so often that if anybody else was me and jumped in my body, they would be miserable. You'd be like, how can she stand it? Why does she stand it? And you would think that a doctor would listen to these symptoms that I'm telling her. Bloating, nausea, I have like low-grade fever, on and off. Shooting pressures, pain that go all the way down my thighs. I'm hot and cold, mostly hot all the time. And I think I'm depressed a lot. I was making a lot of videos before I went and saw this doctor. But the way she made me feel basically crazy, and I was making a big deal out of something that I probably didn't have based on an ultrasound that can't prove or disprove what she was saying. My story isn't, I'm not the only person that has gone through this. That's why I'm making this video. That, and I have to deal with my own feelings about what happened to me. So she's basically telling my boyfriend that it's all in my crazy head, that my family history of endometriosis means nothing. That's how I knew. I was like, you are a quack. But you're totally dismissing the fact that endometriosis almost killed my mother. I have a history of cysts. I've had to have surgery before. None of these things mattered to her. She just told me to take birth control. She said, here, if you take this birth control, we can prove that you have it if you start feeling better. And I'm like, I don't want to be on fake hormones. I have been on birth control before. I couldn't stay on it. It made me sick all the time. So she wants me to take pills that I know are going to make me sick all the time and probably mess with my hormones and mood and all of that to prove that I have endometriosis, which she won't treat anyway because she'll say, well, the pills are working, so you're fine. So I have to take the pills to prove that I have something that I know I already have. A consultation, and maybe I can get that surgery. Which she said was like a last option. Do you know how many women get handed a prescription for birth control and just dismissed out of the office? 10% of the women's population has endometriosis. That's millions of women. And I was one of them. I think I cried for like 3 days after this appointment. Just felt so confused and desperate. I thought I found the answer. I'd even made videos about this. I put them on TikTok. I talked to some amazing people who have been there. The infertility, the pain, the sickness, the bloating, the questions, the confusion. I thought that they were going to help me. Instead, they just made me feel crazy. I finally talked to my OBGYN. I told her what happened. And she told me that she apologizes on behalf of her industry because most doctors are like that person, that woman, that expert. I wish Congress or somebody with some clout would say something about this disease. because we need money to go towards treatment, diagnosis, but it needs recognition. Maybe someday there'll be a cure or treatment other than birth control or surgery. I'm not even called birth control treatment, okay? I am literally sick all the time now. I think I've made a video where I'm like, it's getting worse, and it is getting worse, and my mom needs me. My family needs me. I can't be like this. This can't get worse. I need help. And I'm really lucky that I have a good OBGYN, because she's fighting for me. And she happens to know somebody who at least has advanced knowledge in endometriosis. She's gonna set up a meeting for me so that I can talk to her. And then maybe I can finally get that surgery, because I'm pretty sure I have endometriosis in my stomach, in my bowels, in my ovaries. My mom had it everywhere. And I don't want to wait for when I have a cyst they can't find that makes me bleed for months. The doctors say, don't worry about it, it's early menopause, until it bursts and almost kills me on Christmas Day. Because that's what happened to my mom. And here it is, 2024, and it's happening to me now. Please, someone with clout, someone with 1 million followers, please talk about endometriosis. Because for a lot of women, if they don't get help, if their doctors can't find it, if they get misdiagnosed with IBS or all of the other conditions that mimic endometriosis symptoms, they will die. It will be too late, and they will find the endometriosis after the fact. That's how they find it most of the time. From a complication, they do surgery, and then they find the cells. This was super long. I'm sorry for that. I'm crying throughout the whole thing. Thanks for bearing with me, the people that were there. I'll give you guys updates on what's been going on. But that's been like my last month and a half. I seriously don't know how much more of this I can